Have you ever forgotten something important just moments after learning it? Maybe you studied for a test but couldn't remember the answers. Or perhaps you read a great book and then forgot most of what you read. It feels frustrating, right? What if I told you that you can train your mind to remember more, forget less, and truly keep what you learn? Today, I will share 17 powerful steps that will help you remember everything better. These steps are simple, but if you follow them, they will change the way you learn and remember forever. So stay with me until the end because your memory is about to get stronger. Step 1. Pay full attention. The very first and perhaps the most powerful step to remembering anything is to truly pay full attention. You see, our minds are often full of noise thoughts about yesterday, worries about tomorrow, random daydreams that drift in and out. And when your mind is distracted like that, it becomes almost impossible to deeply remember what you are learning right now. Imagine your memory as a room with a single door. If that door is half open or blocked by distractions, only a little information can get through. But if you open the door completely by focusing your full attention, your memory can take in so much more. So, what does it really mean to pay full attention? It starts with removing anything that might pull your thoughts away. When you read a book, don't keep your phone next to you where notifications can light up and tempt you to look. Put your phone on silent mode, or better yet, keep it in another room. Find a quiet space where people won't interrupt you. If you study at a desk, clear off the clutter so your eyes and mind don't get distracted by unrelated things. Next, bring your whole mind to the task. Tell yourself, "This is important, and I want to remember it." When you remind yourself why it matters, your brain takes the task more seriously. You'll notice that words become clearer and ideas seem easier to understand. While you read, listen, or study, try to imagine that the information is a story you need to retell later. This mental habit makes you focus deeply, rather than just letting words pass through your eyes or ears. Another powerful tip is to slow down. Many people rush through books or lessons, hoping to finish quickly, but speed often means shallow learning. Instead, read or listen slowly enough that you can think about what each idea means. Ask questions in your mind like, why is this important? How does this connect to what I already know? These questions keep your attention active, turning learning into a conversation rather than a boring task. Finally, notice when your mind starts to wander and gently bring it back. Don't get upset if you get distracted. Everyone does. The skill is in catching yourself and refocusing. Each time you do this, you train your attention muscle to become stronger. Remember, attention is not automatic. It's a habit you can build over time. And once you build it, your memory will reward you by holding on to more of what you read, study, and learn. By truly paying full attention, you open the door wide to learning, understanding, and remembering everything better. Step 2. Understand before memorizing. Have you ever tried to memorize a page of words only to forget them quickly afterward? Many people do this. They repeat facts, lists, or sentences over and over, hoping they will stick in their memory. But this approach often fails because the brain finds it very difficult to keep information that it doesn't truly understand. Think about it. Would you remember a sentence in a language you don't speak? Probably not, because it has no meaning for you. That's why the second important step to remembering everything is to first take time to truly understand before you even begin to memorize. Understanding is like building a solid foundation before you build a house. If the foundation is weak, the house will collapse easily. In the same way, if you don't understand what you are learning, your memory has nothing strong to hold on to. So whenever you study, slow down and really ask yourself, what does this mean? Don't just look at the words. Look deeper. Try to explain the idea to yourself in your own simple words. If you can't do that, it usually means you don't fully understand it yet. Another powerful way to understand better is to ask, why is this important? And how does this idea connect to what I already know? When you do this, you help your brain build a network of connections. Imagine your memory as a big spider web. The more connections there are, the easier it is to catch and keep new information. For example, if you learn about a new English word, don't just learn its meaning. Think about where you might use it, what words it sounds like, or what situations it could describe. The more connections you build, the stronger your memory becomes. Also, don't be afraid to look up examples, watch a short video, or ask someone to explain the topic in a different way. Sometimes, a new explanation makes everything clearer. If you find a topic difficult, break it into smaller parts and understand each part one by one. Step by step, it will become simpler. Finally, remember that understanding makes learning more interesting. Instead of feeling like you are forcing your brain to keep strange facts, you turn learning into something meaningful and alive. And when something has meaning for you, it stays in your memory naturally. So before you start memorizing anything, give yourself the gift of understanding first. It will make remembering not only easier, but also much more enjoyable. Step 3. Use simple words and pictures. When you face something new or complicated, your first instinct might be to remember it exactly as it is. But your brain doesn't always work well with long definitions, technical terms, or complicated explanations. What really helps your memory is turning those complex ideas into something simple, personal, and visual. That's why this step is all about using your own words and creating pictures or stories in your mind. This makes learning lighter, more interesting, and easier to remember. Imagine you are trying to learn a difficult sentence from a book. Instead of repeating it exactly, pause and ask yourself, how would I say this if I were telling it to a friend? When you do this, you change the complicated idea into your everyday language. Your words feel familiar and natural to you, and your brain loves what feels familiar. So, instead of trying to sound like the book, explain it simply in a way that makes sense to you. In the same way, pictures and stories bring life to information. For example, if you need to remember a shopping list with milk, bread, and apples, create a funny picture in your mind. Imagine a giant loaf of bread wearing a hat made of apples while it floats in a river of milk. It sounds silly, but that is the point. Your brain remembers funny, colorful, and surprising images much better than plain words. If you have a list of facts, build a short story that connects them. Stories give information a beginning, middle, and end, which helps your memory follow the path and keep the details. Instead of memorizing facts separately, the story ties them all together into one strong memory. When you make learning creative and fun, it stops feeling like hard work. Your brain becomes excited, pays better attention, and holds on to the information for longer. So, whenever you can, use simple words and vivid pictures. Turn every lesson into a small story or scene in your mind. This small habit can transform how much you remember and how you enjoy learning every day. Step 4. Repeat often. One of the biggest secrets to remembering anything for a long time is simple but very powerful. Repetition. But it's not just about repeating something again and again in one sitting. The real magic happens when you repeat the information over time, letting your brain rest in between. This method, known as spaced repetition, helps your brain move information from short-term memory into long-term memory, where it stays strong and clear. Think about how you remember the lyrics to your favorite song. You didn't sit down one day and repeat it 100 times in a row. Instead, you heard it today. Maybe sang it to yourself tomorrow, heard it again next week, and slowly, without even trying too hard, you knew all the words. That's exactly how spaced repetition works. It trains your brain to recall information after different gaps of time, making your memory muscles stronger each time. Here's how you can use this in your study routine. After you first learn something new, go back and review it the next day. This first review helps fix the knowledge in your mind. Then, wait a few more days, maybe 3 or 4, and look at it again. This second review helps your brain practice pulling the information back from memory, which makes the memory stronger. After that, wait about a week and review it once more. Every time you bring the information back to your mind, it becomes easier to remember the next time. The beauty of spaced repetition is that you don't need to spend hours reviewing. Even a quick look at your notes or saying the main ideas out loud can make a big difference. It's not about the length of time you study, but about how you space out your practice. By letting your brain rest between reviews, you give it a chance to organize and store the information deeply. Repeating often, over time, turns learning into a habit, not just an event. And soon, you'll find that you can remember what you read last week, last month, or even last year. Spaced repetition may sound simple, but it's one of the most powerful tools to help you remember everything better and keep your mind sharp for life. Step 5. Write it down by hand. In today's world, it's very easy to type notes on a phone or computer. But if you truly want to remember what you learn, one of the best habits you can build is writing it down by hand. It might seem slower, but this very act of slowing down helps your brain in powerful ways. When you write by hand, your mind doesn't just copy words. It processes and understands them, building stronger connections that last much longer. Imagine you're studying a new topic. If you simply read it or even type it quickly, your brain can stay passive, almost like it's just watching the information pass by. But when you pick up a pen and start writing, your brain must choose the most important points, decide how to phrase them, and then guide your hand to shape each letter. This process turns you from a passive reader into an active learner. Active learning makes your brain pay closer attention, which naturally improves memory. Writing by hand also helps organize your thoughts. You might discover new questions, see connections you hadn't noticed before, or find better ways to explain ideas in your own words. Each of these moments strengthens your understanding and makes your memory clearer. It's like leaving fresh footprints on a path each time you walk it. The more times you do it, the clearer the path becomes. Another reason handwriting helps is that it engages more of your senses. You feel the pen in your hand, see the letters forming on paper, and sometimes even say the words softly to yourself as you write. This multi-sensory experience sends stronger signals to your brain than typing alone. Studies have shown that students who take handwritten notes often remember more details than those who type, even if they write fewer words. Try to make it a daily habit. After reading something new, take a few minutes to write down what you remember. It doesn't have to be perfect or neat. It just needs to be your own words. Over time, you'll notice that you can recall information more easily and explain it better to others. Writing by hand might feel like an old-fashioned method, but it's a timeless secret to deeper, stronger memory that works better than any digital shortcut. Step 6. Teach someone else. One of the most surprising yet powerful ways to remember what you learn is to teach it to someone else. Many people think teaching is only for experts or teachers in a classroom, but in truth, anyone can teach. Even if it's just explaining an idea to a friend, a family member, or even speaking out loud to yourself. This simple act can turn your memory from something passive into something active and lasting. When you teach, your brain must do several things at once. First, it has to remember what you learned. Then, it must organize that information clearly so someone else can understand it. Finally, you often need to answer questions or explain it in different ways. This process forces your mind to dig deeper into the material, turning what you read or heard into something you truly know. It's like building a house. Learning gives you the bricks, but teaching helps you arrange them into strong walls that can stand on their own. Imagine reading a chapter in a book and then telling your friend about it. As you explain, you might realize there are parts you don't understand well. That's not a failure. It's actually very helpful. It shows you exactly where you need to go back and learn more. Each time you do this, your understanding becomes clearer and your memory becomes stronger. Teaching doesn't require an audience of many people. You can talk to your younger sibling, a parent, or even your reflection in the mirror. Some people even record themselves explaining a topic and listen to it later, which reinforces memory even more. What matters is the act of expressing the knowledge in your own words and sharing it out loud. Another benefit of teaching is that it makes learning feel meaningful. Instead of just studying for yourself, you feel you are helping someone else. This positive feeling makes your brain pay even closer attention and helps the information stick. So, whenever you learn something new, don't keep it to yourself. Find someone, or even just yourself, and teach it. It's not just good for them. It's one of the best ways to make your own memory sharper, clearer, and longer lasting. Teaching transforms knowledge from something you just remember for a short time into something that becomes a real part of you. Step 7. Use memory tricks, mnemonics. Sometimes, no matter how hard we try, some information just doesn't stick in our minds. Long lists, strange facts, or complex ideas can feel too heavy to carry. This is where mnemonics come in. A special set of memory tricks that turn difficult information into something simple, colorful, and fun. Instead of trying to memorize dry facts, mnemonics help your brain build a playful path to remember them. One popular mnemonic trick is to take the first letter of each word you want to remember and create a new word or a funny sentence. For example, if you need to remember the colors of the rainbow red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet, you can use the sentence Richard of York gave battle in vain. Each first letter reminds you of the color it represents. Suddenly, instead of memorizing 7 separate words, you only need to remember one silly sentence, and the colors come back to your mind easily. Rhymes and songs are also powerful mnemonics. Think of how easily children remember the alphabet by singing A, B, C, D to a melody. The music and rhythm give the information a pattern, and your brain naturally loves patterns. You can create your own rhymes for vocabulary, historical dates, or steps in a process. The sillier and more creative your rhyme, the better it works because your brain remembers unusual and funny things more easily than ordinary ones. Another fun mnemonic technique is to use pictures or mental images. If you're trying to remember the word elephant in another language, imagine a huge, bright pink elephant dancing in your living room. The picture is so strange and colorful that it sticks in your memory far better than the word alone. You can also create short stories where each part of the story represents something you need to remember. Stories give information a natural order, making it easier to recall later. What makes mnemonics so effective is that they turn boring or complicated facts into something personal and engaging. When learning feels playful and creative, your brain becomes more active and interested. Instead of fighting to memorize, you start to enjoy the process, and your memory works better without feeling forced. So whenever you face something difficult to remember, try a mnemonic trick. You'll discover how powerful, fun, and surprisingly effective these little memory helpers can be. Step 8. Organize information. Have you ever walked into a messy room where everything is scattered everywhere? It feels overwhelming and it's hard to find what you need. But if the same room is tidy and everything has its place, it becomes easy to pick out what you're looking for. Your brain works in a very similar way. It loves order and structure, and when information is organized clearly, it becomes much easier to remember and recall later. That's why organizing information is one of the most effective steps to build a strong memory. When you learn something new, don't just keep it as a long list of unrelated facts in your mind. Instead, try to see how those facts fit together. For example, if you're learning new words in English, don't memorize them in the order you find them. Group them into categories like food, colors, feelings, or animals. When your brain sees the connection between the words, it remembers each group as a single chunk, making it far easier to recall later. This method is called chunking, and it helps your brain hold more information by reducing the mental load. Using headings, bullet points, and diagrams in your notes also helps create this order. Imagine your notes as a map. Headings act as big road signs, bullet points break down big ideas into smaller parts, and diagrams show how different ideas are connected. When you go back to review, your brain doesn't see a wall of text. Instead, it sees a clear, logical path it can follow. This makes remembering faster and less stressful. Think of your memory as a library. If books are placed randomly, you might spend hours searching for the one you need. But if the books are organized by subject, author, and title, you can find what you want almost instantly. When you organize what you learn, you're doing the same thing. You're putting books of knowledge into neat shelves and clear categories in your mind. Finally, organizing information isn't something you do just once. Each time you review, look for new ways to sort and simplify what you know. Maybe you find a better heading or discover that two topics are really part of the same big idea. Every time you do this, you're making your mental library stronger and easier to navigate. In the end, organization isn't just about neat notes. It's about giving your brain the structure it loves so that remembering becomes natural and almost effortless. Step 9. Use all your senses. Our brains are like powerful machines built to process the world through sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. The more senses we involve while learning, the deeper and richer our memory becomes. This is because each sense adds an extra pathway to the same information, making it easier to recall later. Imagine your memory as a large web. Each sense adds another thread, and the more threads there are, the stronger the web becomes. When you read something new, don't just read it silently in your head. Try saying the words out loud. Hearing your own voice helps your brain register the information not only through your eyes but also through your ears. This double entry makes it easier to remember. If possible, listen to an audio version of the same text afterward. Hearing someone else's voice, rhythm, and pronunciation gives your brain yet another sensory layer to hold on to. Writing is also a powerful way to engage your sense of touch. But don't just write in plain pencil on white paper every time. Use colorful pens, highlight key words, or draw small pictures and symbols next to your notes. Color catches the eye and makes words stand out in your mind. Drawing even simple stick figures or symbols transforms plain text into images your brain loves to remember. If you can, add real objects to your learning process. For example, if you're learning new English words for fruit, pick up an actual apple, banana, or orange while saying the words aloud. Feel their texture, smell them, and look closely at their shapes and colors. Touch and smell might seem small, but they make your brain's memory paths much richer and harder to forget. Speaking what you learn is another sense-based method that makes information stick. When you explain something out loud to yourself or someone else, you're combining speech, hearing, and thinking at the same time. Each sense adds its own memory trail, and together they build a network that keeps the knowledge stronger for longer. Finally, multisensory learning isn't just about using more senses. It's about making learning an experience, not just an exercise. When you see, hear, touch, and speak the same idea, you transform it from flat words on a page into something living in your mind. And once learning becomes an experience, it becomes unforgettable. So whenever you can, invite all your senses to join you, and watch how your memory blossoms into something powerful and lasting. Step 10. Connect new knowledge with old. One of the most effective ways to remember new information is to connect it with something you already know. Your brain is a master of making links and building networks. When you learn something new, your mind doesn't just store it in isolation. It looks for ways to connect that new knowledge to existing memories and experiences. These connections act like bridges, making it much easier for your brain to find and recall the information when you need it. Think of your brain as a giant web of ideas and memories. Each idea is like a point on this web, and the connections between points are the threads that link them together. When you add a new idea that links to several existing points, it creates many paths your brain can follow to remember it. The more connections you make, the stronger and more reliable your memory becomes. For example, if you learn a new English word like bicycle, don't just memorize the word alone. Instead, think about the words you already know that are related, such as bike, ride, wheel, or pedal. You can also think about your own experiences. Remember the last time you rode a bicycle or saw someone riding one. These associations help your brain place the new word inside a familiar context. When you do this, recalling the word bicycle becomes easier because your brain can reach it through different paths, through similar words, or through your personal memories. Connecting new knowledge to old is not just about words. It works for facts, ideas, and skills too. If you are learning a new concept in science, try to relate it to something you have already studied or experienced. For example, if you learn about the water cycle, think about rain you've seen or rivers you've visited. These real-world connections make abstract ideas clearer and more memorable. This technique also helps your brain organize knowledge more effectively. Instead of storing facts as separate pieces, your mind groups related information together. This reduces confusion and helps you understand the bigger picture. In short, every time you learn something new, pause and ask yourself, what does this remind me of? How does this connect to what I already know? This simple step can transform your memory and learning experience. It turns random facts into meaningful knowledge that stays with you much longer. Building these mental connections is like building a strong network where every new idea finds a secure place to live and grow. Step 11. Use mind maps. Mind maps are a creative and powerful way to organize your thoughts and improve your memory. Instead of writing notes in a straight line or long paragraphs, mind maps use drawings and connections to show how ideas relate to each other. This visual format helps your brain see the whole picture and understand how different details fit together. When you create a mind map, you don't just passively read or write, you actively work with the information, which makes your memory much stronger. To make a mind map, start by writing the main idea or topic in the center of a blank page. This central idea is like the heart of your map. From there, draw branches outward to smaller ideas or key points related to the main topic. Each branch represents a connection or a subtopic. Then, from those branches, you can add more branches with even smaller details or examples. This way, your map grows like a tree, showing the structure of your thoughts clearly. One reason mind maps work so well is because they use colors, drawings, and shapes. You can use different colors for different branches, add small pictures or symbols, and write words in different sizes or styles. This makes your notes more interesting and easier for your brain to remember. Visual elements grab attention and make ideas stick better than plain text alone. Creating a mind map also helps you think more deeply. While deciding what to put on your map and where, you organize information in your mind. You find connections, group-related ideas, and see patterns that you might miss with normal notes. This active thinking strengthens your understanding and memory at the same time. Mind maps are useful for many kinds of learning. Whether you're studying for a test, planning a project, or trying to remember a story, mind maps help you break down information into smaller parts and show how they work together. Using mind maps regularly turns learning into a fun and creative process, making it easier to remember and use information whenever you need it. Step 12. Get enough sleep. Sleep is one of the most important but often overlooked factors in building a strong memory. While it may seem like staying up late to study more will help you learn better, the truth is that without enough good sleep, your brain struggles to save and organize all the information you worked hard to learn. When you sleep, your brain doesn't just rest, it actively processes and strengthens your memories, preparing them to last for a long time. During sleep, especially deep sleep and a stage called REM sleep, your brain reviews the experiences and knowledge of the day. It moves important information from short-term memory, which is like a temporary holding place, into long-term memory, where it can be stored and accessed easily later. This process is like saving a file on your computer so it doesn't disappear when you turn off the power. Without enough sleep, this saving process becomes weak, and much of what you learn might be lost. Most adults need about 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night to allow the brain to do this important work. It's not just about the number of hours, but also the quality of sleep. Try to create a peaceful environment for sleeping. Turn off bright screens. Avoid caffeine late in the day, and keep your bedroom quiet and dark. A good night's sleep refreshes your mind, making it sharper and ready to learn new things the next day. Studying late into the night without rest may seem productive, but it often backfires. A tired brain is slower, less focused, and remembers less. On the other hand, a fresh, well-rested mind learns faster, understands better, and holds on to information longer. So instead of pushing yourself to stay awake, plan your study time so that you can sleep well afterward. In short, sleep is like the brain's natural memory booster. When you make sleep a priority, you help your mind become stronger and smarter. Remember, no matter how hard you study, without good sleep, your memory won't perform at its best. So, get enough rest every night and let your brain do the important job of turning what you learn into lasting knowledge. Step 13. Eat brain-friendly food. What you eat has a big effect on how well your brain works, especially when it comes to memory. Just like a car needs good fuel to run smoothly, your brain needs the right kinds of food to stay healthy and strong. Eating brain-friendly foods can improve your ability to learn, focus, and remember information more easily. On the other hand, unhealthy foods like too much sugar and junk food can slow down your brain and make it harder to remember things. Foods rich in antioxidants, healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals are some of the best choices for your brain. Antioxidants help protect brain cells from damage caused by harmful molecules called free radicals. Berries, such as blueberries and strawberries, are full of antioxidants and have been shown to improve memory and brain function. Nuts like walnuts and almonds provide good fats that support brain health and help keep your memory sharp. Fish is another excellent brain food. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines contain omega-3 fatty acids, which are essential for brain function. Omega-3s help build brain cells and improve communication between them, leading to better memory and concentration. Eggs are also a great source of important nutrients like choline, which supports the development and maintenance of brain cells. Green vegetables such as spinach, kale, and broccoli are rich in vitamins and minerals like vitamin K, lutein, and folate. These nutrients have been linked to slower cognitive decline and improved memory. Eating a variety of colorful vegetables provides your brain with a wide range of nutrients to keep it working well. While eating healthy foods is important, it is equally crucial to avoid too much sugar and junk food. These foods can cause inflammation and damage brain cells over time, making it harder to learn and remember. They also cause energy crashes that make it difficult to focus. In summary, your diet plays a key role in your brain's ability to remember and learn. By choosing brain-friendly foods like berries, nuts, fish, eggs, and green vegetables, and avoiding too much sugar and junk food, you give your brain the best chance to work at its highest level. Feeding your brain well is a simple but powerful step toward better memory and sharper thinking. Step 14. Exercise regularly. Exercise is often thought of as something that only helps your body, but it is just as important for your brain. When you move your body, blood flows faster and more oxygen reaches your brain. This increased blood flow helps your brain cells get the nutrients they need and even encourages the growth of new brain cells. All of this makes your memory stronger and your mind sharper, helping you learn and remember better. You don't need to do heavy workouts or spend hours at the gym to see benefits. Simple activities like walking, stretching, or light jogging can make a big difference. Even just 20 to 30 minutes of moderate exercise each day improves how your brain works. When you exercise regularly, your brain releases chemicals called endorphins that make you feel happier and less stressed. Lower stress levels mean your brain can focus better and remember things more easily. Exercise also improves sleep quality, which is another important factor for memory. When you are physically active, you tend to fall asleep faster and enjoy deeper rest. This better sleep helps your brain process and store new information more effectively. So, exercise helps your memory not just during the day, but also while you sleep. Physical activity also improves your attention and concentration. When your body moves, your brain stays alert. This alertness makes it easier to focus when you are reading, studying, or listening. Exercise is like a natural brain booster that wakes up your mind and keeps it ready to learn. In addition to memory benefits, regular exercise reduces the risk of brain problems as you grow older. It keeps your brain healthy and protects it from diseases like dementia. In short, exercise is one of the simplest and most powerful ways to improve your memory and brain function. You don't need to become a professional athlete. Just find a way to move your body every day. Whether it's a walk in the park, a quick stretch at home, or dancing to your favorite music, keeping active gives your brain the strength it needs to remember more and think clearly. Step 15. Stay positive and motivated. Your attitude plays a surprisingly big role in how well you remember things. If you believe that you are bad at remembering or that learning is too hard for you, your brain may actually start to give up more easily. Negative thoughts can create stress and reduce your ability to focus, which makes it harder for your memory to work properly. On the other hand, staying positive and motivated can make your brain perform much better, helping you remember new information with greater ease. When you tell yourself, "I can remember this," or "I am getting better every day," you send a message to your brain that learning is possible. This positive mindset encourages your brain to work harder and stay focused. Motivation acts like fuel for your mind. It helps you keep going even when the material feels difficult or when you face distractions. The more you believe in your ability to remember, the more your brain listens and tries to help you succeed. Another way to stay motivated is to celebrate your small successes. Each time you remember a new word, fact, or idea, take a moment to feel proud. These small victories build your confidence and create positive feelings connected to learning. Positive emotions strengthen the memory because your brain wants to repeat things that make you feel good. So every time you succeed, your brain marks that learning as important and worth remembering. If you ever feel frustrated or discouraged, try to remind yourself that memory is a skill that anyone can improve with practice. Everyone forgets sometimes, it's normal. What matters most is your attitude and willingness to keep trying. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I'm learning and getting better." This simple change in thinking can make a big difference. In summary, staying positive and motivated is not just about feeling good. It's a powerful tool to help your memory work at its best. Believe in your ability to remember, celebrate every success, and keep a hopeful attitude. When your brain feels encouraged and motivated, it will respond by helping you learn faster and remember longer. Your thoughts and feelings are the key to unlocking your true memory power. Step 16. Practice mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness and meditation are powerful tools that many people overlook when thinking about memory improvement. Mindfulness means being fully present in the moment, paying close attention to what you are doing right now without distraction or judgment. Meditation is a practice that helps calm your mind and develop this focused awareness. When your mind is calm, clear, and fully engaged, it becomes much easier to remember information and focus on learning. In our busy world, the mind often jumps from one thought to another. This constant noise and distraction can weaken your attention and make it hard to store new information. When you practice mindfulness, you train your brain to slow down and focus on one thing at a time. This deep focus allows your brain to absorb information more deeply and remember it better. Meditation is one of the simplest ways to develop mindfulness. You don't need special equipment or a lot of time, just a few minutes each day. Find a quiet place, sit comfortably, and close your eyes. Begin by taking slow, deep breaths. Focus your attention on your breath as it moves in and out. When your mind wanders, gently bring your focus back to your breathing. This simple exercise helps you build concentration and teaches your brain to let go of distracting thoughts. As you practice mindfulness and meditation regularly, you will notice that your attention span improves. You become less reactive to distractions and better able to stay focused during study or reading. This clearer mind helps you process and store new information more effectively. Meditation also reduces stress and anxiety, which are common enemies of memory. When you feel calm and relaxed, your brain can work at its best. Even a few minutes of mindfulness practice each day can lead to lasting benefits. Over time, this habit builds stronger attention skills and improves your overall brain health. You'll find that you not only remember more, but also enjoy learning more because your mind feels peaceful and ready. In conclusion, practicing mindfulness and meditation is a gentle but powerful way to improve your memory. By calming your mind and sharpening your focus, you create the perfect environment for learning and remembering. Make this simple habit part of your daily routine, and watch how your attention and memory grow stronger every day. Step 17. Use technology wisely. Technology has become a big part of our daily lives and learning. When used wisely, it can be a powerful tool to improve your memory and help you study better. There are many apps and programs designed to support learning, such as flashcards, reminders, and note-taking apps that can help you review information regularly and stay organized. These tools make it easier to practice repetition, plan your study time, and keep track of important ideas, which all improve how well you remember. For example, flashcard apps allow you to create digital cards with questions on one side and answers on the other. You can carry these flashcards anywhere on your phone or tablet and review them whenever you have a free moment. Many flashcard apps use a system called spaced repetition, which reminds you to review information at the perfect time to make your memory stronger. This way, technology helps you practice step 4, repetition, in an easy and organized way. Reminders and calendar apps are another helpful way to use technology. They can alert you when it's time to review your notes, finish an assignment, or prepare for a test. This helps you stay consistent and avoid forgetting important study sessions. Staying organized with technology reduces stress and makes learning smoother. Note-taking apps are useful for writing down ideas quickly and organizing your notes with headings, bullet points, or even drawings. Some apps allow you to add colors, photos, or voice recordings, which help make your notes more memorable. Digital notes are easy to search and update, so you can keep all your learning materials in one place. However, it's important to use technology carefully. It can be very distracting if you get caught up in social media, games, or notifications while studying. These distractions can break your focus and make it harder for your brain to absorb information. To avoid this, try turning off notifications or using apps that block distracting websites during your study time. Remember, technology should be your friend, helping you learn and remember better, not your enemy that steals your attention. In summary, technology offers many tools to support your memory and learning. When you use these tools wisely, they make studying easier and more effective. Just stay focused, avoid distractions, and let technology work with you to unlock your best memory and learning potential. Final thoughts. Remembering everything you learn may seem like a big challenge, but it is absolutely possible once you understand how your brain works and how to take good care of it. Your brain is an incredible tool, but it needs the right attention and training to perform at its best. By following these 17 steps carefully and consistently, you will build a memory that works more efficiently and lasts longer. Start by paying full attention to what you want to learn. Without focus, even the best information can slip away quickly. Then take time to understand the material deeply rather than just trying to memorize words. Organize your notes clearly and repeat your reviews over time. These simple but powerful actions help your brain store knowledge in a way that is easy to recall. Along the way, use helpful tools like mind maps, mnemonics, and technology wisely to make learning easier and more enjoyable. Don't forget to take care of your brain by getting enough sleep, eating healthy foods, exercising regularly, and practicing mindfulness. These habits create the perfect environment for your memory to grow stronger. Most importantly, stay positive and motivated. Your mindset has a huge effect on how well you remember things. Believe in yourself and celebrate every small success. Remember, your memory is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger and sharper it becomes. No one is born with a perfect memory, but anyone can develop one through practice and patience. Start today by choosing one step and making it part of your daily routine. With time, you will forget less and remember more. Learning will become easier. Your confidence will grow, and you will be able to achieve amazing things. Keep practicing. Stay determined and never give up on improving your memory. Your mind is your greatest power. Nurture it well, and it will take you far in life.